Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing the RAT Momentum Indicator. But before we do, if you have not watched our first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that now. At the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below. You can also find a link to sign up for TradingView down below. If you use the link below, you will save a little bit of money. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform. On our Discord server, we are having great conversations about all things regarding trading. One of the biggest struggles on this channel is people who use other platforms like MT4 being able to follow along. Sometimes it can be hard to find the indicators we are using on other platforms. And so on our Discord server, I have created a channel for indicator creation. And on that channel, I pinned links to freelancers who can code indicators for MT or for TradingView. So if you don't want to create a TradingView account, you can hire a freelancer for a really small fee and have them code an indicator for the MT platform. Or if you are on TradingView and need an indicator created, something unique or an indicator for a system you have developed, you can also have them code PineScript. So use the link for either MT4 coding or use the link for PineScript. Lastly, I get a lot of people that are asking me for the entire list of all the winning indicators that we have tested to date. And whereas I am not a big proponent of gatekeeping information, I've put a lot of time and effort into creating the content on my YouTube channel. And so I don't think it is too much to ask for the viewers to go through and view the content that I've spent a lot of time creating. Now, if you are not interested in supporting our channel by going back and watching the content that I have created, then I have developed a solution for you. I've created a Patreon account. I will put a link to it down below in the description. If you sign up for Patreon and you sign up for the $9 a month account, I will send you the full list of tested and winning indicators to date. I will also send you an updated list of the indicators that we are testing at the end of each week. Now, of course, you have to stay subscribed to the $9 monthly subscription, to continue to receive the updated list of indicators. But that way it will provide me with the support that I need to continue to provide the free content that I am putting out for everybody to view. Now, if you just love the channel in general and want to support us, then there is also a lower, I think $3 Patreon subscription that you can sign up for that will also help support the channel and keep things going, so that way I can continue to produce the content and the open information that we are creating here in this channel and in our Discord server. Again, if you have not signed up for our Discord, then you need to do that as well. It is a absolutely free platform where we have real-time ability to chat and have conversations about trading. And again, if you want to support the channel with Patreon, then you can find the link down below in the description. Alright, as I said, today we will be testing the RAT Momentum Indicator. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, I have tested 139 indicators. And out of those 139 indicators, 58 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you can take any one of those 58 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. All right, so today's indicator is the RAT Momentum Indicator. You can see it here on screen. There's not a whole lot going on with it. It's not a whole lot of information on exactly how it was intended to be traded. And so this is a TradingView member created indicator. And so of course you can find a link to it down below in the description. And so basically what we have here is kind of a series of moving averages creating some zones and then a main moving average as well. This main moving average is coloring the candles, and it has different stages of coloring. So there is dark green, there is light green, there is dark red, there is light red. And so basically the coloring indicates that there is momentum. Dark green means strong buying momentum. Dark red means strong selling momentum. And then we have the main body of it here. And so this is very similar to, you could think of the Ichimoku trading system and the Ichimoku cloud specifically that switches from red to green. And that is similar to what this main body back here is doing. Now, there's not a whole lot of information, like I said, on exactly how all these pieces go together. But what I do know is that, again, the main body switches from red to green and green to red, giving us a signal to go long or to go short, or that there is a trend going long or going short, basically. Then, of course, you have the main indicator line here running with price action, and I'm sure that is meant to be used in determining whether you're taking long positions or short positions. And so I think the best way to test this indicator is going to be to test the main body of the indicator itself. And so let's see if I can make a few adjustments here. Let's go in and take out the bar coloring. And I think I'm going to go in and just remove that main moving average line. Not to say that it isn't useful in some way, but right now, again, what we're going to test is just this main body itself. And so right now it is in a red position. And then, like I said, it will flip and turn green when it is in a red or a buy position. So green for buy and red for sell, obviously. Of course, we are using the TradingView platform here, so we'll just take a minute to give a quick shout out to TradingView and the ability to do back testing like we do. Has this really cool replay function here, and has the ability to paper trade with an account. And so altogether, it's a really solid platform for doing simulation trading and different testing in different ways. And so if you are looking for a simulator to do your trading on, whether it be forward testing with paper trading or back testing with a replay function, then TradingView is definitely the way to go. We use this with all of our back testing and all of our testing of the indicators, and it's a super awesome, solid platform. So highly recommend it. Again, you can find links down below in the description to sign up for an account if you don't have one. The tools in TradingView are truly endless and super awesome. And so, all right, let's see here. So let's get on with the testing process here. I can already tell that the biggest issue with trading this indicator this specific way is that it just doesn't give signals that often. And so we see this where some indicators have such a heavy delay on the signals that it gives just very, very few signals within a year's time. And so that can always be kind of a drag, because I mean, we need a reasonable number of signals within a year's time to make any kind of reasonable return on investment in a year. And so if a indicator's only giving us one or two signals in an entire year, it's just not really going to work out for us. But I'm not sure exactly how many signals this one gives, so let's play it forward here and see what we can get out of it. Let's see, we see price action kind of trickling its way here, not really making any kind of big moves. Let's see if we can get any kind of solid move out of price action here, determine what exactly it looks like it wants to do. It seems to be really struggling going down, and so that is very likely a sign that so we had this heavy push up here, then a pull back into this area. Looks like consolidation or accumulating of positions by some of the larger money, and so looks like they might be interested in pushing this to the upside. Yep, that's what I thought. So it was accumulating down here and finally got a heavy push to the upside. It's now pulling back into the body of our indicator. Starting to lose momentum here as it comes down, making quite a few cycles here. This is something that, again, I've said a few times in other videos, is that you'll hear some people who deal with price action, who trade price action, talk about trading price action. You'll hear them say that the market moves in cycles, and that it moves in cycles of 3. Now, that is definitely not a hard rule. I don't care what anybody says, the market does not move in a defined 3-cycle pattern. And so, it can move in 3 cycles, but often what you see is scenarios like this where it gets kind of scrambled and the cycle itself isn't really defined. And so it gets kind of hard to decipher exactly how many cycles a trend will go through before it starts to lose its momentum and then have a strong pullback or even reverse completely. And so, but you know, with that being said, keep an eye on, and whenever I say cycle, I mean where it drops, has a slight pullback, drops, has a slight pullback, drops, has a slight pullback. That would be considered a cycle. So it went through 1, 2, 3 cycles. And so um, you the advantage to constantly being in the market and testing indicators and watching price action like I do is that you really start to develop an eye for what price action is doing, and you start to really start to see kind of patterns that occur time and time again, and those patterns typically will lead to a specific action taking place. And so in this instance here, we've had a pretty decent cycle of push downs here. We had a strong pullback here, a pullback that was more than any of these other slight pullbacks. Price action came down, tried to develop a new lower low, but failed and is now starting to push off of this. And so we see this kind of head and shoulder pattern quite often, and this is usually followed by a burst to the upside once we get a break of right in this area. And so you have kind of one shoulder here, a push for the head. This then develops a neckline as it forms this little candle, or I guess it's not little, but this red candle right here. Then as it starts to push back up here and breaks that neckline, we often see a spike of momentum in either the upward direction, or if this was reversed, we would see a spike in the downward direction. So this is one of those just really defined setups where you can see clean, clear cycles followed by a head and shoulders type pattern, or even some people call it a cup and handle. Yeah, it's very likely this is going to punch up at least for a slight. There we go. So sometimes it's strong, sometimes it's weak, but anytime you see this pattern, there is a very, very good chance, and it has to be followed by a strong push into the pattern setup. If it just is, say, like over here, where it just kind of waffles around and then develops this pattern over here, it's not going to be nearly as strong, and there's a good chance it may not have good follow through. But if you see a very clear, defined, strong push either up or down with clear defined cycles in it like this one was, and then you see this little pattern develop right here, there's a very good chance you're going to see a push in whatever direction off of this. And you see that's exactly what happened there. All right, let's follow it out a little bit here. And now it's kind of gotten into the indecision phase here, where it's just kind of peeking around. Not sure why it keeps getting so choppy. Choppy as in the replay function, not choppy as in the market itself. All right, so it made a decent little push up and out of there, lost its momentum, and then started to step its way back down. And now we have come back down into this little area here. It does look like we were able to finally get a green sign over here, a green signal. And unfortunately, that one didn't work out too well, because it did come down and stop us out. Then we get a short one over here, does the same thing, almost immediately it comes back against us, stopping us out. So not so great. Now price action, you can see that it has come down, kind of bounced off this area right here. And now even though we've had a relatively a relatively clean push to the downside with kind of clean cycles, the setup here is a little bit less likely to get the same follow through that we had over here. And that's because we're not really getting the same exact pattern setup. This is a very clear pattern. Many people see it, and many people know what it means. This over here, where it bounced off this level and just shot back up, is a little bit different because we have not had a chance for it to pull back some, which price often does, and it didn't develop that same kind of picture perfect pattern to confirm that this is really going to shoot up and out. And so you have people with a lot of indecision on whether or not this is going to have good follow through. And there we go. It did come up here, bounce for a second, and then it eventually took off. But my point being here is that when you don't have as clear of a setup in the price action, it is a little bit less likely to have the same follow through. It really does start to reduce your chances of getting a winning move out of this kind of a setup where it's not as clear. Now we get another green signal over here. Let's play this forward a little bit, and it looks like, yep, we got a winning signal finally right there. All right, price action is pushed up really far now, taking a lot of momentum to the upside. Had a pretty strong pullback here, and what we're looking for is whether it's going to come up and double top right in this area right here, or if it's going to come up and break its way through this area. Sometimes it'll break its way above and then pull back, kind of a fake out move. So the market makers will punch it up to get in a bunch of longs who think this is a breakout trade, and then they'll shove it back down, come down and annihilate everybody's stops. So let's play it forward here and see what it does. It just completely reversed. Didn't even come up to test that area. And so again, here's another example of where we get kind of a similar pattern to over here, but it's not quite as defined. I mean, you get a strong push, not a lot of cycles. It does bounce off this area, come down, and start to retrace a little bit before then getting the momentum and taking off to the downside, but it's not as clearly defined. There's definitely not as many cycles, not a, what I would call a strong push up. I mean, it definitely made a good push, but it's a little bit less clear exactly what price action wanted to do when it got to this area. I honestly expected it to come back and test this area. And so when it didn't, it just shoved down. That's, kind of an example of how price action sometimes just doesn't quite work out the way we expect it is going to. Let's see what it does now. So at this point, we've had a push up, and now we're getting this consolidation again right here. This is, again, you can consider this an accumulation of positions. And so it'll just kind of ride sideways as the market makers are picking up positions, picking up positions, picking up positions, getting ready to move this one way or another. Question is, which way are they going to move it? And that's the hardest thing to really determine. At this point, it's a little unclear we've made pretty decent progress to the upside. So if I had to guess, I would say it's probably going to try to push its way down. Now, it might make a little leg up here before it does, or it might just drop pretty heavily. So we'll see what happens here. There, it pushed up like I thought it might. You often get that. They're kind of working on a bit of a fake out. See, we are at the end of the year now, so we're at the end of our testing year. Let's see what this does. It's pushing right up here against this area. I'm curious to see if it breaks up above and then pushes back down, or if they run it back to the upside again. Really is a gamble at this point, what exactly they're going to do. They've pushed it up above, pulled in a whole bunch of long positions, and then they shove it down. Yep. That's what I expected them to do. So here's a perfect example of what I was talking about, where they shove it up above this area. Whole bunch of people went long because that's what we are typically told to do. You have this kind of pennant forming where it's wedging itself up into this area, and any trading book, any trading guru out there will tell you, this is flagging out, it's wedging, it's, they got 1,000 different names for it, but basically price is getting shoved up closer and closer and closer to this line where it's hit multiple times and rejected, and if it breaks, it's going to shoot through the roof and take off and go to all-time highs, something along those lines, right? But what the market makers have done is, again, they've sat in accumulated positions. They're accumulating positions, and what they're doing is they're accumulating positions to take this to the short side. But while they're doing it, they want to trap in some people, so they break it up to the upside for just a moment. They get in a whole bunch of people who would have put in orders to buy right in this area. Boom, 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 it came up, getting in all kinds of people who were excited, went to bed, thought they're going to wake up in the morning and be that much richer, and then they make the market maker M right here, or a double top, some people know it as, and they shove it back down. And most people who took this trade to the long, what they would have done is they would have put their stop orders most likely right here in this area, right below this swing low or this swing low, and market makers pulled them in and shoved it down and broke through all their stops. I mean, even if you would have put a crazy big stop on it like this right here, well below these points, I mean, that is a huge stop to have in place. We're talking 700 pip stop. That is insane. That is just a crazy, crazy large stop to have in place. And so if you would have had guts enough to shove your stop this far down, thinking you're going to get well out of the way of any whipsaw, then they shoved it down in your face and stopped you out and took a whole bunch of money from people every step of the way as they broke through level after level after level after level. So, all right, there you have it. Let's see. We're going to go back and look at our indicator. It got 3 signals, and out of those 3 signals, one of them was a winner. And so, obviously, that is not going to meet the 60% criteria. It's going to go on the no list. I think what I'm going to do is actually maybe over the next video, next 1 or 2 videos, test this a couple of different ways, since there does seem like there are quite a few different ways to test it. So I don't feel good about testing it in just this way and only this way. So we'll play around with it a little bit more, and yeah, get to more testing. So, all right, that's it. We will move on from here.
If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, all right, everybody, I will see you on the next video.